All right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm running, here I am, 2 minutes and 18 seconds late, so my apologies. This is K4PEW with the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. I lost track of time tonight. I didn't even realize it was quite 8 o'clock today. So, is there frequency in use besides me? The answer to that obviously is no. So, hold on. There we go. Now I'm on high power. I can't even keep my radio straight. Good evening again. This is K4PEW with the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. I know the frequency is in use because I've been using it. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? All righty. If there is, call 911 if you have an emergency. If you can't get a hold of them or you have some other radio emergency, like you lost your manual to your Bofang, just call out. We'll help you. Anyway, when it be broken for any time for emergencies, but not for the Bofang manual. For information on us net, you can see us on our website, 146415.net. That's 146415.net. Or you can reach us on Yahoo Groups at MJ_SS. That's MJ with an underscore. That's an underline thing. Sierra Sierra. Or you can send me an email at Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey at ARRL.net. We meet at 8 o'clock every Wednesday and Saturday night. That's 8 o'clock p.m. at Central Time. We conduct the net on 146.415 FM Simplex. The purpose of the net is to have fun and help people see that their stations need improving, me included, and to help us better serve emergency communications, just like they're really getting ready for up in the Carolinas, Virginia, up at Georgia, you name it, they're getting ready for it. And if you're at sea, it's already too late. I've been in hurricanes, so I can't imagine this is a nasty one. So we invite everyone to use the net to announce ham radio events, activities, resources, training, ham fest, tailgates, insider trading, and the general community. It's a directed net, and all traffic should be coordinated by net control. The big net announcement, of course, is I am on YouTube tonight on that live feed, late, albeit late. Of course, you can look me up on my call, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey on YouTube, or using the word Brain Trusts. It's BRAINTRUSTS, one word. And those of you who have been subscribers, which I'd love you to subscribe, because that way you get notices when I do get online. There's a little subscribe button. If you haven't seen it, it's underneath the video. And anyway, that's just helpful to me. All right. Does anybody else have any announcements?
WE4E, I have one.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
First of all, good evening, everyone. I got to thinking, Paul, and I want to put this out here at the front of the net instead of waiting my turn. We took a quick stab at sideband last week, and it was kind of fun. Just want to extend an invitation if anybody's interested. I wouldn't mind to run down to 144.215 or thereabouts, assuming that it's clear, and just do a informal SSB roundtable just for giggles. Partly just to kind of see who can hear what, and partly just for the fun of it. So anyway, if anybody's interested in doing that, I'd be interested in doing that. So just throwing that out there early.
You want to do that after that on 144.215?
Yeah, as soon as it closes, no particular rush at all, and it's just for kicks, just to sit and natter on sideband for a while. Vertical polarity, not a problem. I think we all generally are because we're operating FM. I don't think we're going to bother anybody or whatever. So anyway, just so we can at least get down to the sideband portion of the band.
Yeah, we could do that. There's no reason why we can't. No rules.
Well, kind of what I thought. So very informal. We probably take just take a list of who's on and just pass it to.
No, I think that'd be good. That way we can even spare this frequency, because that's what we did last time. And the last two times, actually. I think it was the last two times. Yeah, it was. We did it the last two Wednesdays in a row. We were going to do it tonight as well. But I just as soon do it that way. We can do it on 144.215 if we can get people to remember how to use their VFO.
Yeah, and there's a few going to have to use their writ a little bit, but that's okay. It's all kind of the fun. So anyway, let me get back out of the way and let you continue. WB40 back to that.
Yeah, it's a good point, Danny, and it's a good announcement. I forgot to say that we normally would do that sideband event after tonight's net, but we can still do that and not interrupt the 415 frequency with sideband, and we just move over to 144.215 following the net on sideband for those of you that can. That way we won't be messing up the 415 frequency with sideband traffic. And that's right after the net. So be there or not be there. It's up to you. If you got a sideband ring, be there. If you're not, you can't even listen. All right. Do we have any other announcements? Oh, very good. Today is Wednesday, so tomorrow's Thursday, and that's the Wilson County Amateur Radio Club net. It's an Aries net at 8 p.m. on Thursday, 147, 105 plus offset and a 156.7 tone. And of course, our net again on Saturday. By the way, Saturday is our 4-year anniversary day. Just by coincidence, Quinky Dinky. Saturday is the 4-year anniversary of the day. I think it was the first net that happened to be on that day, or it's the day I started the Yahoo site, which was how I attracted people, so to speak. Certainly can't be my looks or my voice. So Saturday is the 4-year anniversary. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to probably have to have I don't know what we're going to do. Come up with hints. Tell me something to do. Anyway, that's the other one. And of course, Tuesday is the Vanderbilt Amateur Radio Club net on 443-800, and that's at 443-800 with a plus offset and a 123 PL, and that's on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Any other announcements or clarifications? All righty. For those of you that aren't on YouTube, for those of you who are on YouTube with me, gets to see me drinking soup out of a big bowl without a spoon. I haven't eaten dinner yet. So, let's see. What do we got to do next? Oh, yes, we have to do the net. There's no other announcements for certain. Remember, 144.215 sideband after the net. And tonight is. Let me. Does anybody have any idea what we do? We could do a question about tonight. Any question? You think that's a good idea? Does anybody want to do a question? What's your favorite radio? What's your favorite mode? What's your favorite? I don't know. I don't know what we could ask to enlighten everybody. I guess I'm going to ask us. I'll do this. I'll make it simple. Have you improved your station since you started being on this net? That's the question. Have you improved your station? Just a yes or no. You don't have to elaborate unless you somehow feel compelled to say I dropped $5,000 on a new radio antenna feed line on a tower. But I don't think anybody's done quite that. But have you improved your station? So be thinking about that as we move along, and that's what we'll go on. And let's start from moving around the dial. We'll start with the west this time because we actually went from east to north to now we're going to west, starting out. West of Mount Juliet Road, please come in.
Hello, Paul and Annette. This is KM4YRF.
Yeah, have we talked recently?
I believe we have.
All right, YRF. I have to look. You know, I get so wrapped up sometimes I forget to call. Yeah, it's KM4. I don't know why I can't remember that.
That's no biggie. And the answer is yes, I have improved my station. Happy to say.
Yeah, very good. So that's a yes. And that's Michael, of course, in Belshire with a great signal, Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. With a good signal, and he says he's going to, I know personally that he says, I use the term says, with quotation marks, says he's going to improve his station in the near future if he gets enough time and money and approval from the bank gods. All right, moving on. Thanks, Michael, for being there. Again, Belshire. That's Michael, KM4YRF. Who else west of Mount Juliet Road?
Whiskey 4 Alpha, Whiskey Echo.
Very good. I don't know if I have to ask you. I already know the answer is yes, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, and even more than yes, starting the journey of constant incremental improvement, which I think is even more important than just one thing.
Oh, absolutely, because part of that improvement is you and me.
Absolutely. The more you operate, the better you operate.
Yep, no, and you're doing a great job from Bellevue. That's where it is, Bellevue. I think I remembered that correctly, didn't I, John?
Yeah, that's it. It is confusing. There are so many communities in this area that all start with the French prefix Bell.
Not to leave out Bell Buckle.
Exactly. But it's a little different spelling.
Yeah, I know this. All right, very good. That's John, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, with claimed improvements in station and operations. So who else? West of Mount Juliet, west of Wilson County, please come in. All right, about down to the south then, south of 40, please come in.
KT14 Kilo, Mike 4, November Yankee, Bill.
I heard a couple of stations there, but I got Bill in there, and that's Bill is. I only heard half of your call, and I got to remember it from memory. But that, oh, don't tell me. I'm gonna have to look it up. Kilo. Huh. Well, give it to me again, Bill, because my mind went blank again, which happens frequently.
Kilo, Mike 4, November Yankee.
Yeah, very good, Kilo Mike. I know the suffixes better than I know the prefixes. That's kind of funny. Well, Bill, you've improved your station, I believe, since Simplex, have you not?
Oh, somewhere in between there, maybe before a little ways. I went and done everything with solar power, so I don't have to have my power supply or the good old power company.
Oh, cool. Now, I might have asked you this before. Did you, what are you using for, what battery or batteries or power source are you using, that your solar feeds?
I've got one solar panel I put up on my TV tower, which I bring down to the controller, which goes to a 35 amp battery, and then back to power all my radios and cell phones and all that kind of stuff where I can charge batteries and everything.
Now, that's great. Now, what type of battery is that?
It's a sealed acid battery.
Oh, it is a sealed lead acid battery. Okay, that's because I don't know what's the recommended best one for that application. I wouldn't know, but is that the one that is recommended though for your particular installation?
Well, that way I can keep it right here in the house. Otherwise, you'll have fumes and you can get yourself in trouble.
Well, I was thinking about the other, like the nickel cadmium or the lithium ion or the, I don't even know which other ones are available. You know what I'm getting at? I just wonder if there was a different kind that didn't have that fume problem.
It's just a sealed one.
Okay, so it really doesn't matter as long as it's something that can be, because I remember hearing, I often hear the deep discharge batteries are the ones you should be using, in the lead acid.
I don't know. I went with what they recommended at the time I was buying all this, and it has worked out great for me. I've never been able to run it down yet.
No, that's great. If I keep asking questions, you might. All right, Bill, glad to have you in there. I didn't know you. I think you did mention the solar before, but I'd kind of forgotten. That's Kilo Mike 4, November Yankee Bill in Murfreesboro, and with a solar installation, which is pretty cool. I know somebody else has a solar. I think it's Eddie, but we'll find out maybe later. All right, thanks, Bill. Who else south of 40? Please come in.
KT14.
All right, how you doing there? I got the name right here. Randy.
I'm doing fine. Just got in, settled down for the day there. It sounded good as always. And thanks for running the net. Enjoy it. I guess I've improved. I'm going to improve a little bit more because I'll raise my antenna up. I guess I improved because I started out in the car mobile with no antenna there. Have a good afternoon and hello to everybody on the net that can copy me. KT14 in the Franklin.
All righty, Randy. Appreciate you being there from Franklin. That's Kilo Tango 4 Tango November. with yeah, improvements as well. And I think we've all gone through even very tiny improvements. Again, a lot of it hinges on money and other issues, family issues, if it's big money. But yeah, everybody makes improvements, if not in. Uh, I know everybody sounds probably pretty lame when they first get on the air. So that's one improvement. When you first get your license, you're not exactly an expert at getting on the radio. All right, very good. I don't hear anybody on the air now that way, but that's why I remember how I felt when I first got on the air. All right, who else saw the 40? Please come now.
KN4 CCQ.
Hey, Preston, what's up with you?
I'm doing great out here, man. Just kind of hanging out, enjoying the net this evening. Everybody's sounding good out there. Yeah, I have made some improvements over here to the station.
Ah, very good, very good. I thought you had. You're one of the guys who's got a nice little tower arrangement there. You told me the other day it was 600 feet.
Yeah, next year it's going to be. I'm going to add another 400 feet and have it even 1,000 there.
Yeah. Can I have your old tower?
Yeah, man. Yeah, sure, no problem.
All right. Very good. All right, Preston. That's Preston in Possum Trot. That's Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec. And he actually has, I think, a 40-foot tower, but great signal, great audio, and gets out real good. And he has made improvements. All right, who else saw the 40? Please come in.
K1S.
Hey, when you called out earlier, and you were initially when I heard you, I was on crossband repeat. I tried to reply, and did you have your volume down or anything, Scott?
Oh, I didn't know if you're talking to me. No, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I was messed up then, because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I heard you out there and with your new rig, and you sounded good to me.
Okay. Yes, I've made improvements since I first started on the net here. Besides the 11-meter Yagi, just purchased a IC 7100, so I can have sideband capabilities tonight.
No, that's great. Yeah, I heard that. I heard you talking about that. You told me about that earlier. Yeah, that's a nice radio and should give you a lot of fun.
Looking forward to it. Carry on. K1S.
Very good. That's Scott and Laverne. That's Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. Who else saw the 40?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
That's Larry. Larry, I don't think you had to make any improvements, did you?
No, I'm holding back, waiting for something big to happen.
Well, if you wait just about 24 hours, something's big going to happen over there on the East Coast that we hope doesn't head in this direction.
Well, if I get my antenna, I'll have to get another one.
Yep. Yeah, that one looks so nasty. All I can think of is forget all the people, obviously, and all of the. I heard the guy on the National Weather Service today. He said, if you haven't left yet, it's too late. So I can't imagine. I've been in that boat when I lived in Florida. That's why I know how crazy dangerous it can be. Yeah, in fact, I think everybody, I forgot to mention, everybody, I sent a copy of all of the frequencies for the hurricane nets in Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. And of course, the Saturn net, which is the Salvation Army's team and stuff. And so if you're interested in listening on sideband, you certainly can. And you can also, if you're on Echolink, I'm confident you can get on a National Hurricane Center. I haven't done it in years. And you would also get on the Salvation Army net on Echolink to listen to their traffic as well. So if you're interested in that, that's something to do. All right, Larry, and the answer is he's waiting to win the lottery, apparently. All right, thanks for being there, Larry. That's Larry, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor in Rockvale. Who else out the 40?
Kilo India 4 November Delta November.
Well, the question to you, David, is how far have you degraded your antennas since the net?
Hey, I showed some improvement whenever you got that new antenna. That's all I can say about that.
Well, I agree. I figured when I put that up, everybody else got better.
Oh, I'm throwing pennies in that piggy bank in there. I'm gearing up.
Well, of course, my next step, is a tower, and I'd have to put up a 60-foot because I'm already up at the bottom of the antennas at like, I forget what it is, 45 feet or so putting up a 40-foot tower would be a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm looking at a piece of property about 1,000 feet above sea level, and kind of waiting for the stand down Aries report to come in. Do not self-deploy announcement. Oh.
Well, how much property do you have there now?
I am on 6 acres here now, but I'm thinking about moving up. Not out up.
No. I'm thinking what you can do is if you're going to buy another piece of property, then I presume you're going to be upgrading to some degree. You might as well spend, a few grand and just haul in a whole lot of dirt to cover that 6 acres and put the antenna on top of that dirt.
Well, I was thinking about moving up there beside you. Is there a vacant hillside right there somewhere?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there is a couple of lots here. I don't know if they're available. And somebody, I'll have to take a picture. I got to go over and talk to this. A guy around the corner from me, about 200 or 300 yards from me. He's apparently a new owner. I didn't even know it was for sale because it's not in my view. And he's on a cul-de-sac off of the same street. Our street's kind of a dead end. And he's got it looks like a 40-foot tower, brand new. And it looks like, I don't know, it's one of those cross, I forget what you call those. It's got a vertical and horizontal. And it's a beam, about a 6 or 8, I forget what it is, a 6 or 8 element beam. And I can't, standing out on the street, walking the dog, I can't tell what it is.
Cubicle quad, sure. Anyway, I appreciate what you do, Mr. Paul, and I'm constantly trying to improve, but sometimes in trying to improve, of course, like you said, you degrade the signal. So I appreciate what you do. Good evening all. 7-3, KI4NDN. Back to you, sir.
Very good. Thanks, David. That's David, Kilo India 4 November, Delta November, and he is in Reedyville. Someday I'm going to get down to Reedyville just so I can stay up in there. Who else? South of 40, please come in.
K4
Hey, Donnie, how are you doing tonight?
Good. Just sitting back listening to everybody. Enjoying well. Oh, hope you have good luck.
Yeah, so I know you made improvements. You got yourself an 8-watt bullfang, I bet you.
Yes, and I'm going up again a little bit more, and I've been fortunate. I hadn't had to put a whole lot of money into it because I'm experimenting with a couple of things. I've had very good success with it.
No, I know you've got a great signal, and you improved quite a bit, actually. And like I said, I'm not sure you need improvement to talk to me because you were talking to me on a handheld from your living room.
Yeah, there's a couple of people I still have trouble hearing, and I had trouble hearing David tonight. And the guy that comes in sometimes now on Carthage, I can't hear him. But most everybody else, I get a word here and there, but I'd like to be able to hear everybody clearly.
Yeah, you remember? I'll have to look it up. Do you know your elevation there?
If I'm not mistaken, I'm about 300 feet below you. You didn't think I was that much, but I believe I am.
Man, yeah. See, you're gonna have to move in, chip in money with David and get some high profit.
Well, the problem is my wife wants me to haul all this dirt out instead of bring it in.
Yeah, I got you. Very good. Like I said, I think that we ought to have a GoFundMe site for the Simplex net, and with the express purpose of buying everyone who needs a tower.
Well, I might go along with that.
Hey, we're here for emergency service. What the heck? I've seen the government give grants for, why monkeys chew gum. Why not this?
They sure give some crazy grants, that's for sure.
I know. We can come up with one crazier than that. Everybody needs a 250-foot tower. All right, and the land to put it on. We'll go crazy on that. I appreciate you being there, Donnie. That's Donnie, Kilo 4 Oscar, Foxtrot Oscar, and he is in south, just a little bit south of Mount Juliet, east of Mount Juliet Road. Who else out of the 40? Anybody else out of the 40? I got a clicker in there.
KG4 S12.
Man, we haven't gotten up to north yet. Way to hold up, Charles. You're not south of 40. I'll take you in a minute, though. Anybody else south of 40, please come in. All right, over to east of Mount Juliet Road. Hold on, Charles. You're north, so we're going to get up there. East of Mount Juliet Road. Please come in.
No, WA4ZHI. Oh,
Hey, Richard tried to bump you out of your spot there. You know that, James. James, Richard tried to bump you out of your spot.
did he make it?
No, you covered him up. So how you doing tonight, James? Any improvements to your system since day one? It's been 4 years.
Yeah, when I started off, I had a Linko base station and a HT, and they both went out in about 2016, just a couple months apart, and I replaced them with a Yaesu and a Kenwood.
Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how if nothing, everyone, in order to make changes, you have to have a reason, and it has to usually be a reasonably valid reason. I mean, I realize people buy equipment when they don't really need it, but doing things on a regular basis like the Simplex has prompted me, among others, to make improvements because there's a reason. It's not just because I feel like it.
Yeah, you know what my future project is? It's got to be update the antenna.
Oh yeah, well you do pretty good though. I mean, push come to shove, if you had an emergency situation where you had to communicate, you'd go stick that thing outside somewhere on a pole or a tree or something, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, but even where it is right now, I can hear people within 5 miles. They're all directions.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. You're doing well as you stand, but if it really came push to shove, you could get it in a better location.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, very good. That was James, Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. Been here for the better part of the 4 years. He is right here in the middle of Mount Juliet, just east of Mount Juliet Road. Who else east of Mount Juliet Road?
Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo.
Hey, how you doing, Richard? You almost beat him out this time.
I'm working on it. To answer your question, yes, no, yes. Yes, initially because I increased the height of my J-pole. No, because when I got up here, the J-pole's not working out real well. But yes, again, because I did improve my elevation a lot. So there's the answer to the question, I hope.
Yeah, and part of that whole deal is as much as we have fun making fun of each other on those issues, is that we can only have fun with it if we're actually working towards, better things to come. Where we know that there's somewhere we got to get to, and just making plans, usually financially and physically, how to get her done.
Absolutely, that's the hold up at this point in time. But yeah, that's coming, and there will be improvement. By the way, I've not heard a single station that you that's checked into the net, and I'm going to attribute that for in great part to the dang J-pole. But I'm satisfied that if anybody else around me checks in from the east side, I better handle. Otherwise, I'm gonna go out there and rip this antenna down and throw it away.
You don't have it out the YouTube on today, do you?
No, in fact, my computer has decided to take a dump on me. I don't know. I came in here and brought it up on screen and it wouldn't do anything, so I shut it down. And I've tried to reboot it, and it is sitting here with this little blue four-cornered screen with a little circle running around, and that's as far as it's gotten as far as rebooting in the last 15 minutes.
Well, the reason I was asking was I was hoping you didn't see me laughing as you were telling me about the sad tale of your J-pole.
Well, it'll go down in this, man. It'll be all right. But it's going to be replaced. Terry, back to you, Paul. Have a great night. Thanks for doing what you do. KI4SIB.
Well, you can, what you can do is just take that J-pole and then mount it like on a plaque and put it maybe in the house somewhere that's visible. And you'll say, something like, it worked, but not as well as I wanted. It served its purpose.
Here stands what served its purpose as long as it was necessary until I learned it could be improved upon.
Until I had money to do better.
Exactly.
Very good, Richard. That's Richard, Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo. He is just west of Lebanon Road. No, not Lebanon Road. Just west of Lebanon, north of Lebanon Road. He's about a mile and a half east of Lebanon. Who else? East of Mount Julia Road. East of Mount Julia. One more time on that, please.
KE4 easy.
Okay, very good. Earl, stand by for just a second. Was there another signal in there? Maybe not. Does anybody hear a relay on that? Was there another signal that was, I thought I heard somebody calling out and I didn't catch what it was.
It was TWI. No, there's somebody else in there.
I'm betting that's Michael over there in Smithville. That's my bet. Anyway, listen out for that, if you will, please, and I'll get Earl here first, please. Earl, how you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good. Just trying to get some directions on where I need to be tomorrow whenever, so I can kind of hang out and see, listen to that there IC 7100 on sideband.
Do you want to wait till after the net? You want me to read those frequencies to you?
Which frequencies?
The one for the, well, I'm talking about were you talking about the ones for the hurricane net?
No, I was just, I got to go to Nashville in the morning, just trying to do the old Google map thing so I know where I'm going when I get out on the road.
Okay, very good. So have you made any improvements to your operation there since you started on the net?
No, not really. Other than maybe switch in and out different microphones, is about all I did over here, and rearrange my insides. I've still got to clean out my jumble to get to my antennas.
Well, you've done something different. I don't know whether it was just the antenna and the power, but if you remember, your signal was much, much less when you first got on. It was much weaker. And now it booms in here and it's got a good audio. And I don't know whether that was because you were, I'm not sure what you were doing with the audio.
Well, I guess getting some of those there vines unwrapped from my coax and my push-up pole that was holding my antenna up, that may have improved it some. Other than that, that's about all I done.
All right. Very good. Well, you've improved. I'll give you that. All right, Earl. Good to have you in there. That's Earl, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. And he's over in Noreen, just east of Cedars, Lebanon Park, east of whatever road that is, 70, I think. Who else? East of Mount Juliet Road. Wes, want to go next?
Yep, everybody sounded good. KE4 TWI. There was another weaker signal in there, and I couldn't pull it out. There's somebody else trying to get in. And I've made several improvements, and I've ended up with this 10-element beam pointed about 280 degrees, which is pretty much towards Mount Juliet. But it gets Murfreesboro and up to Sumner County pretty good. KE4 TWI.
Well, technically, that's what, 80% of your traffic, right?
Yeah, but I can get the cab and Smith off the back.
Very good. Yep, that was Wes in just over there by Watertown, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. And he's made some substantial improvements going from a vertical to a small beam to a 10-element beam. So he's been doing great. He's got a great signal into my station. I know other people have noticed it as well. Who else? In fact, let's just listen for a moment. Was there someone else who was trying to check in who I did not check in, who I could barely hear? Anybody copying anything? Because I can't. I open up the squelch and got nothing. How about you, Kevin? Nobody here but us chickens. Is that your answer?
I was on the beam. What point I was, I don't know. I'm on the vertical now. If they can do it again.
One more time on a weak station, if there was one. Okay, nothing heard. Kevin, I'll let you check in.
Well, KG4 MIC. And dusted it off a couple of days ago. Need to do it again. I'm building antenna. I'm doing all kinds of different stuff. Telling what I'm gonna do next. But I guess I could say I've improved my station a little bit. It seems to be improved. I can hear people and people can hear me, so yes, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think you've made enough improvement changes in tree trimmings to account for 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, that's
right. All right, now you're doing a great job, Kevin. You really are. I know I can't say that I can't tell if you've improved sometimes because we have such a good signal between us, but you've done a great job. All right, that's Kevin Kilo Golf 4 Mike India Zulu, and he is in right in just west of downtown Lebanon. And I got dogs here. I got a new big dog, and he just stepped on one of the little dogs. You could hear that on the. Go on, go lay down. I've only had him a couple of days, and he's a big, dumb English shepherd. Big dog. Weighs about 110 pounds. So anyway, I'll have him on the air one of these days. That was Kevin in Lebanon. Who else? East of Mount Juliet Road?
KN4LXH.
KN4LXH. I heard it. Hold on one second. There was another station and I don't want to miss him. Who was that?
Kilo 4 Uniform Echo Yankee.
All right, Uniform Echo Yankee. Hang on one second. Then I didn't know if it was a weak station there, but I got Kilo November 4 Lima X-Ray Hotel, and that is gosh, is that Eddie, isn't it?
No, that's Jimmy, just north of the high school.
There we go again. I messed it up again. I'm sorry, Jimmy. You're sounding good though. Improvements, if any?
I've done several. Finished up my lightning protection, and of course I got a different microphone, a PR 781, and so forth like that.
Yeah, in fact, your audio is exceptionally good. I just happened to notice it. If you mention that the microphone, I have noticed it before, but you're a very good articulation on the audio.
Yeah, they said this was the one to buy. It said it was designed for amateur radios. PR40, which is a lot more expensive, is more of a broadcast studio microphone. It's got the bassier sounds.
Well, it's like I heard Bob Heil talk about that on the air not on the air, but on his network. He was talking about how the studio mics are really too sensitive for amateur radio because you'd be able to be sitting in the shack and I have one of those microphones, not here. It's my wife uses it for recording, and you'd be able to hear things, tiny things at the other end of the house that you don't want to hear.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Of course, I'm the only one here 99% of the time, so I don't have that problem.
Well, just to give you a clue, my wife had the headphones on, and so she was listening only to what was going through her recorder, her recording machine, and her microphone. And she said to me, she says, "What?" And there was no sound in the house to speak of. There was nothing, no external noise. And she says, "I'm hearing noise here. I don't know what it is. It's in the machine or something." And I said, "Let me listen." So I put on the headphones, and I said, "Yeah, you are hearing something." And so I kind of walked around. I go, "You know what you're hearing?" She goes, "What?" I said, "You're hearing the condenser fan on the bottom of the refrigerator."
Wow, okay, now that's sensitive.
That's what I'm talking about. It's crazy how sensitive those studio mics are.
Yeah, you're right about that. Okay, I'll let you get back to it.
All right, Jimmy, appreciate you being there. And Jimmy in Mount Juliet up north of the high school. That's Kilo November 4 Lima X-Ray Hotel. And I'm going to get that name right one of these days. I keep screwing that up, and I apologize to him. And he's right here in Mount Juliet, of course. And next is KK4 Uniform Echo Yankee. How you doing tonight?
Doing well. Nice day in Legardo.
Yeah, it's been a nice day everywhere, although it was a little warmer than I wanted it to be.
Yeah, well, if you don't like the weather, they say wait till tomorrow. It'll change.
Oh, I'm sure it'll change with this system moving in our direction. I know it's supposed to get a little cooler. I mean, this is September, but I don't want it windier and cooler.
Yeah, well, maybe now we're not going to get as windy as the Carolinas anyway.
No, I pray not. I mean, I've been in those kind of winds before that you don't want to be in them. My wife asked me, she goes, what does 100 mile an hour, what would that feel like? I said, you don't really want to know. It's just not something you're interested in knowing. Um, they mentioned, I saw in the news just a few minutes ago, that they measured wave heights north side of the hurricane at 80. I don't remember, it was over 80. It was 80 feet waves. You also don't want to see 80-foot waves. It means, well, you're going to have to just hope you don't die.
Yeah, the Aries boys up there may get some work this weekend.
Well, that's kind of the key. It brings up a good point. I'm glad you said that. Preparedness doesn't just mean having a good antenna. It means having maybe two good antennas. A second one you can put up when the first one gets blown away.
Yep.
Well, very good. We appreciate you being in there. Hoyt, it's Hoyt, is it? Am I right? Am I right about that? Am I?
That is correct. Hoyt and Legardo.
Yeah, you see, you fooled me with your QRZ page because the word Hoyt is not there.
Yeah, they have to have the legal name on that one.
Yeah, I know they do. No problem. My memory was serving me correct though, and I just hate to get it wrong, just like I got Jimmy's wrong again. So I get a little upset with myself when I don't remember exactly the names. But again, that was Hoyt, and it's Kilo 4 Uniform Echo Yankee, and he's in Lombardo. Great signal. Good to have you in there again. Who else east of Mount Juliet Road?
W4
Hey, how are you doing? You were testing out a new radio again, I heard.
Well, I'm working on my to-go box. I tried it out this evening. I've been sitting here listening. So far, I've heard everybody.
Well, good. Well, you're working off of that antenna on the tower, right?
Yes, that's my major improvement was Wes helping me out doing that.
Yeah, well, that sure helps to have a tower, and obviously you're in a good elevation position to begin with, and having a working antenna, at least a vertical. You haven't got your rotor fixed yet, eh?
No, I figure that's going to be a while.
All right. I know you're not going to climb the tower, so it's going to be a little while, and I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I understand. You could always just buy a new rotor for $300.
Well, that would be no problem, but just getting somebody to go up there to labor and all that. Plus, we're thinking about downsizing, and I don't know what I do with all my radios. But well, thanks for doing the net tonight. Everybody's sounding good.
All right, very good, Eddie. That's Eddie Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-rays about 4 miles east of Mount Juliet Road, just south of the interstate, or Interstate 40, that is. Who else east of Mount Juliet Road?
Okay, I'm Corey Street.
Hey, Stan, you monitoring all those hurricane frequencies?
I listened to a few earlier, but I didn't hear any traffic.
I didn't either. I went on 40 and 20, didn't hear squat.
But the answer to the question is yes, I've improved some of them. I got the piece of fiberglass in a couple of days ago, and I'm making a new bracket for my log periodic, so I'm going to try it again.
Ah, very good. Does that have a rotor, or are you just going to point it in one direction?
I have a little rotor for it.
Oh, good. Yeah. I would guess that it'd be very frustrating to have a beam with no rotor.
Yeah, I would think so.
All right. Well, very good. Some people Wes being on the fringe, having it point in one direction with a reasonable height is huge. I mean, if you're far enough away, you can hit most of a couple of counties with one beam, so it's not like it's a big deal. All right, very good. That's Stan, Kilo Mike 4, Hotel Quebec Echo, and he's just north of Lebanon, just north of the square in Lebanon. I don't know, maybe a mile, I'm not sure, but he's just north of who else east of Mount Juliet Road? WW4 Foxtrot November, I believe it is, isn't it?
Foxtrot Mike.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I heard Mike and I wrote down November. Okay, very good. And how are you doing tonight?
Well, we're doing very well. We got our antenna replaced this year, put it back up in the air, full butt performance, and it was upside down, hanging about 20 feet off the ground. We got it back up properly, 50 foot. So at least we're hitting you well tonight. Last week I couldn't even get you without using that beam.
Ah, very good. So you are on the vertical tonight.
Roger, around the Omni, a little band Jimbo.
Oh yeah, you're doing pretty good. You got about an S3, although I did have to turn up the volume to get the audio better for my ears, and my ears aren't too bad, but I'd rather have it loud and I can hear everything. But yeah, you're doing great, Bill. By the way, this is Bill, Whiskey 4 Foxtrot Mike, and he's up in Hartsville. He was unable to make the contact last week on a vertical, but did with the beam, and tonight he's on the vertical. So he's doing a good job, Bill. By the way, so you've made some improvements right off the bat.
Well, I appreciate it, sir. I do have a question for you, though. How can I follow you on the Comcast there on YouTube?
On YouTube, you can. I'll be. Well, I don't. Can I use that email that's on to send you the information on that on the QRZ?
Sure. It's www.4fm@aol.com.
Yeah, very good. I'm on YouTube, and that's all you have to do is go to the web and go onto YouTube and go to you can look up my call, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey, or the word Brain Trusts, BRAINTRUSTS. Either one of those will, in the search box, will bring up, yeah, it'll bring up my, that's Brain Trust is the name of the channel, but my call is readily identifiable to the system and it takes it to the channel. So anyway, yeah, Bill, you're doing a great job there. The only thing I'd say is I think you might be shocked how little gain a J-pole has versus one of the, obviously J-pole might be the least expensive antenna, but you know what I'm getting at is to have a good antenna. A much better antenna makes much better results.
Yeah, Roger, I was vertical there, but I just try to work with what I got. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, believe me, I know. I know very well. I can't tell you how many antennas I tried to make or made and didn't work right and got them higher, and I finally decided to put up the best one I could afford, which took me a while. It wasn't instantaneously by any standard. And again, I had to have a reason. If you were listening to me earlier, you know, I had to, you know, if there's a good reason, then I can convince myself, yeah, I'll be spending the money if I have to make a good job of it, you know.
Well, at least I'm getting on there.
Yeah, you had a little, you know, interesting. See, conditions change. Your signal was just as loud. Your audio was just as loud, but you had some. It almost sounded like line noise from a power line or something right on top of you, but I could still read what you had to say. Yeah, very good, Bill, and it's great to have you in there on the vertical. I'm glad you're making those improvements. So obviously the answer is yes. And again, that's Bill, Whiskey 4 Foxtrot Mike in Hartsville, which is quite a good stretch from here. Who else east of Mount Juliet Road? Anybody hear any relays east of Mount Juliet Road? Very good. We'll run up to the north then. Charles, you want to go ahead? Charles got tired of waiting. He really did check in, but he got tired, or his wife drug him off the radio. Anybody else north of Mount Juliet Road or north of Lebanon Road?
WB0NOO.
Oh, very good. WB0NOO. How you doing tonight?
Good. Name's Mark. I think you had me as Wayne. That's the QRZ page is Wayne, but I go by Mark. Anyway, doing good. Made a few improvements here. New antenna and a new radio. So I've got the little brother of your antenna, the 510, and running 65 watts now. So got a little power.
Yeah, but you didn't have to do better to me being in Old Hickory, and your antenna just I'm pretty sure you could be on 1 watt and I'd hear you just as well because your signal is at least 20 over. By the way, I looked at your picture here. I hadn't seen that before. You got some nice, a nice display, 2 displays on your setup there. That's real pretty. On QRZ, that is.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I have to keep with the decor of the house. You know, I'm not allowed to have it too messy. And I'm watching you on YouTube too, so it doesn't work very good if you listen to both. Though I can tell you that.
No, I'm sure it doesn't because of the delay. I'm with you. Yeah, it's better to. Well, you could actually turn if you're hearing everything, seeing everything on YouTube, and you're not talking, you're not on the air with me. It's probably better just to watch the YouTube.
Oh yeah, I got a radio and a tower and a bunch of stuff for sale then.
Oh, do you? Why don't you send that out? You're on the email list?
No, I was kidding. Now that I don't need it anymore, we got YouTube.
Ah, I got you. No, I still think people are going to get on the air. They want to hear what they can hear, so to speak. I mean, I think it's an improvement to help people know how they sound to me, as well as to understand who they're hearing that they can't hear normally.
I think I understand what you said. Would you comment on my audio though? I'm using an MC60 mic, and is it a little hot?
No, I would say it's not hot at all from what I'm hearing. And if you listen on the YouTube, you'll hear it. In fact, the articulation and the audio is clear and sound. I mean, I couldn't ask for much better than that. I'm not sure I'd be able to tell much better.
All right, good. Well, that's all I got from here. So have a good night. Carry on. I'll listen. WB0NOL.
Yeah, very good, Mark. I'm glad to have you in there. That's Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar, and he is in Old Hickory. Who else we have next? And he has made improvements, and he's got a real nice station if you look him up on QRZ. Who else? East of Mount Juliet or north of Mount Juliet? Please come in.
WE4E.
Hey, Danny, I hadn't written you down earlier either. I hadn't written you down because you technically didn't check in. You just talked.
That's true. I cheated.
No, you did fine, and that's I'm looking forward to that sideband portion here. We're already running up to an hour, so I know you've made improvements. I don't even have to ask.
I've done several things. As far as 2 meter and 70 centimeter, I do have a small beam up, and I changed the way the rotator, the mast, and all that stuff works. So it's up, I don't know, maybe 28, 29 feet, something like that. That's all the higher it is. I can't tell you with any certainty that it's an improvement. It's different. I had a Ringo, and I can't tell you with any certainty that this antenna is any better. I will tell you that it's got some deep nulls on either side of it. So if I'm not pointed right at you, forget it. I'm not going to hear you. But I don't know if it's made improvements on my ability to hear.
Well, it is if it's pointed in the right direction.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, but like I said, I don't know if it's any better. By the numbers, yeah, it's quite a bit better. It actually is supposed to have some gain to it. That Ringo is just a glorified J-pole, really, in the way it's done. Those J-poles, you're right, they have no gain. They're rife with common mode. You've got to insulate them from the mast, and you've got to use a choke up there to keep the common mode off the feed line and everything. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I can't say I'm nuts about it. I've got a planned improvement for the winter. When the leaves fall, I've got some antenna work that I want to do. The 6 meter beam and a different 2 meter antenna are going up. I've got a 10 meter vertical up on a mast up on the side of the house, and it's at about 35 feet. I think the 2 meter, 6 meter going up there, and I'm just going back to an omnidirectional vertical, and I'm going to stick it up on top of that. So with any luck at all, if I get that all put together the way I want it, that vertical will be up around the general vicinity of 40 feet. So that's the plan.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great. I mean, in terms of who you can hear, I'm sure there's stations now you can't hear, but are there any of those? Are there many of those?
I can hear about half the net. I have a lot of squelch breakers. Now, I will tell you,
my noise floor runs S4, S5. So if I've got anybody that's down in the fuzz that I should be able to hear, I can't because just environmental noise over here. That did not improve when I changed antennas. I thought it might, but it did not appear to make any difference. So if you get if you get down in the fuzz a little bit, I don't hear them. So I can hear about half of that.
I got you. No, but you're doing some good stuff. I know that you've changed quite. You're right. I've heard. I remember early on, I had this somebody I barely knew, but he says a Ringo, and there's more than one Ringo, right? The Ringo Ranger, is that the cheapest one?
Well, the Ringo Ranger is newer. It's dual band, I think, and it's also different in that they added ground radials. It's an odd little thing, but yeah, there's actually 3 antennas. Oh, and then a half wavelength below that, there are quarter wave radials. It's a weird little thing. This is just your basic garden variety, been around since the 80s Ringo. It's a half wave. It amounts to a J-pole. It doesn't do 440 at all. It sort of deals with it if you shove it in there, but it's not a good match. It's very reactive, but they're small. They're bulletproof. If you mount them on a little hunk of PVC and stick a choke, like some ferrite beads right below the feed point, they're actually not too bad.
Yeah, what I was going to tell you was I think it was one of the originals, like you're talking about. He said it's a glorified dummy load.
Seriously, it's what it is. A mass-mounted dummy load. It's not far off of what this thing is, But it's fine for a while. I made some contacts around. I actually was able to talk better on it than I expected. I had much better success than I anticipated. So the sequence of events from radios is I started out with a little Chinese one duct low FT 8900 knockoff. It's a Titera makes it. It was okay. When I added 6-meter capability, I had the FT 100 fall into my lap with a couple of little problems, which I fixed quickly. It's in the car now, and now the radio I use here for 6 meters and up to FT 847. So that's the line of improvement from a VHF standpoint.
Yeah, sounds great. I know you've done a lot. That's why you probably didn't even have to answer. I know you've done quite a bit. So you've done great. All right, very good. That was Danny, and that's Whiskey Echo 4 Echo, and he's in Hendersonville, not too far from me, so he doesn't need any improvements to talk to me. The best example is that he says, "Would you stand by for a test?" I say, "Sure." And he says, "I'm mobile. I want to try out this antenna." So he tries out the antenna, and I said, "Okay, you're 20 over." He goes, "Okay, let me try the other antennas." "Okay, you're 20 over." And he goes, "Well, you're not much help." I go, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, we can all count on you, Paul. WV40.
Well, I'm not much help. I was thinking I ought to do a test and just put up a ground-mounted antenna and do the net, and then everybody can feel normal.
It'll be a much shorter net that way.
I know it would be. All right, very good, Danny. Good to have you in there as always. Who else north of Mount Juliet Road?
Question?
Yes, question. Go ahead.
Yeah, Paul, this is Bill. What is the best vertical antenna?
That's a loaded question. What's the best vertical antenna? And that's the one I have. I can't find one better. Let me qualify that. I can't find one better, and that's the Diamond X700. You'll find it in the Diamond Gigaparts, HRO, you name it, they sell it. It's an X700 antenna. It's got a 9.3 gain. It's 24 feet tall.
So that was X700?
Yes, X-Ray 700.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, I didn't tell you the price. It's $387 or $89, which that includes shipping, by the way.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah, I would have. I didn't get buyer's remorse on this one, though, because this antenna is a killer. It really is. Whew, is it good? All right. Anybody else north of Mount Juliet, north of Lebanon Road, north of Division Street?
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo, Kilo.
Did you change anything there, Frank? Because you sound a little mellower tonight.
I might have turned down the gain a little bit, but no, not since the last time.
Now, the reason I say that is it just sounds as though, like you said, the gain and gain might have gone down because you sound, in the past, you've sounded a little, it sounded hot, and this is just like a smoother, mellower tone to your voice.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Those two guys today with the very good mics, the high one, that sounded great.
Oh, it did. Yeah, Jimmy's mic is wonderful. Does he sound? Just tell me he doesn't sound better than me, and I'll be happy.
Well, he's a little closer to me.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. No, I can't compare that really. No, he has excellent audio. That mic he's got is excellent. Um, all right, very good, Frank. How you doing tonight? Though otherwise, you've made improvements. I hope besides changing your mic gain.
Uh, Not really. I guess I'm the slacker. But there's things planned, but thanks to the net, I was able to figure out I had a bad cable. I had to change my coax. I had a bad mic cord. So things did get better.
Yeah, but you forgot to mention the better over at the Wema Shack.
Well, yeah, I was thinking of my personal thing. Yeah, we actually got a transmitter that actually puts on our now.
Well, I put out before, but it just was, at the at the blown finals level.
Yeah, we were doing a half a lot.
Wow, wow. Yeah, well, you're doing fine from where you are, and I'm glad. It really is gratifying to know how people do improve their stations, though, using Simplex. And all we've done here, we collectively have done here, is given people an avenue to realize not how bad they are, but how good they can be. How they can, without a whole lot of money, improve their stations and being able to better, just communicate on Simplex. And that's really kind of a neat thing because working repeaters just doesn't get it.
Yeah, and it's funny you said that. The only thing new is the microphone and the cables. Part of my problem was, I had 20-year-old equipment that probably, was good 20 years ago, and then sitting around, it gets moisture in it, and things go wrong with it. So, the radio's over 20 years old. The mic is new, and so are the cables. So, and the antenna, of course, which is just a J pole because it's an attic one, but I plan on putting something outside in the spring.
Sounds good. Very good. That was Frank. Also with improvements all around and some planned improvements to boot. That's Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo. And he is, you're in the northwest corner, but what do you call it? What do we call it? Hermitage?
It is Mount Juliet proper, but I'm in the last part of it right before it goes to the to Wilson County unincorporated off of Nonaville by the golf course.
Oh, yeah, very good. I just didn't remember if it was actually still in the Mount Juliet proper because I had labeled you before as just being northwest Wilson County.
Yeah, any further north and west, and you probably end up in the lake pretty soon. But yeah, I'm not quite as close to the lake as say where Richard used to be, but he was real close to me. I was basically not even a mile from where Jeff used to live.
Hey, by the way, I haven't heard Brian. Have you heard him recently?
No, I have not.
I'll have to give him a buzz on the email, see what's going on. I haven't heard him in a week or two. All right, that was Frank again. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo up in the northwest Mount Juliet. And who else? Anybody else north? Heard somebody breaking a thing in there.
Hey, C9.
Hey, there you are. How are you tonight?
I've been watching your signal go from half scale. It'll go down to just flicker, and it'll go back up. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, yours just did the same thing. It's almost like your mic broke for a split second and it went bounced right back up. It's funny.
It's conditions. Probably a nice chunk of chemical spray up in the air.
Well, you just did the same thing on that. Your first transmission, while it wasn't fantastic, it was, like a fully readable. And when you just did your last transmission, I got the same. It sounds like a power line buzz, just like I did from an earlier transmission from Hartsville.
Yeah, there's stuff in the air. How many seconds are you up to, Paul?
You're number 25 tonight.
Oh, that'll work. All right, let me get back to getting a few things done. But yeah, it's really interesting watching the conditions. It's just most of the time you're half scale, then you'll be flickering. I can barely hear you. It just comes right back up.
Yeah, it is interesting. You're right. And obviously, we got all kinds of crazy stuff going on up in the atmosphere. All right, very good, Steve. Good to have you in there. That's Alpha Charlie 9 India Mike with a good signal aside from some weird conditions going on. And he is in Scottsville, Kentucky. He calls it Corn Tucky. Who else? Anybody else north? And any late check-ins? Please come on.
Kilo Delta 4, Zulu Golf Yankee.
Whiskey 4 Echo Alpha Charlie.
Yeah, hold on, Alan. Let me take Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Golf Yankee, and that is Ed in Shelbyville.
That is correct. Good afternoon, Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Golf Yankee. How's everything going? I think I'm number 26.
Yeah, you are 26. We're bumping right along. We topped out a few weeks ago at 29, but I don't really want to do a 1 hour and a half or 2 hours. It's not that I don't want to. We're going to have to move quicker if we get too many people.
Well, I say that there. I heard you saying something about the hurricane frequencies. Is that 7.268 and 14.325? That's the frequencies you were referring to?
Yeah, 7268, 14325. And of course, the Saturn, the Salvation Armies, is 14265 or 7262 for the Southern Territory. National, it says for Saturn is 14265, and Southern, for the South States would be 7262. And then I had some others. The Hurricane Watch net was 14325 and 7.268. So I don't know. I've never messed with those. But then I've got some Georgia ones, the North Carolina ones, and the South Carolina ones that I sent out on the email list.
Yeah, that's what I got on net on the web a while ago, and I've come up with the first two figures. I appreciate the other couple you gave me as well there. Anyway, I know there's others in here, and I wanted to get in and say hello. I'm always running a little bit late there, but hope you have a good rest of the net there, and I'll turn it back to you there. Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Golf Yankee Head in Shelbyville.
Well, you're doing such a good job. You're like I thought you had moved. It kind of threw me a curve because you're 20 over to me, and so the conditions are great from the south and not so great from the north.
Well, I was hearing a guy out of Hartsville a while ago, just clear as a bell.
Ah, very good. So obviously your beam's doing a great job.
I will let you go though. 84ZGY.
Very good. And next up is Alan, Whiskey 4 Echo Alpha Charlie. I had to think what it was.
Oh, very good. Well, I'm hearing most everybody tonight, so I'm not going to stay long. My throat is sore. I was a little sick this morning, but hope all is well here on FM. Good luck on the 2-meter sideband express carrier. I'll see if I can hook up sometime here in the near future. W4 Echo Alpha Charlie.
Yeah, very good, Alan. Good to hear you in there. I know you're a busy man these days. Being busy is good. Keeps you out of trouble.
Well, we'll get you to post our bond.
Yeah. You can. I'll move dead bodies, but I won't post bond. How's that?
Spoken like a true aristocrat.
Very good. All right. Appreciate having you in there, Alan. That's Alan, Whiskey 4 Echo Alpha Charlie, and he's over in Donaldson. And before that, I had Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Golf Yankee Ed in Shelbyville, both with great signals. But Ed's was better since he's so much farther away. But Alan's is good too. He was probably 40 over if I could read that high on my scale. Anybody else late check-ins or late check-ins?
KG407.
All right, I do have you in. I wrote you down there, Charles. You're doing all right. You stepped away from the mic for a little bit, so I called out for you, but you weren't there. You doing all right?
Tired as usual, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It just seems like every week maybe I'm missing some nets. I look at the clock; it's like 8:40 before you get to the north.
I did start out with let's see. I started out with the west this time, but I started out with the north last time. I've been moving it around. So next net, I'll be starting with the south and then moving around, working counterclockwise. So next net, it'll be south, east, and then north. And then the next one will be east, north, west, and the next one will be north is first. I'm doing somebody complained, including you complained. So I decided, well, I'll do it. I'll just, instead of throwing a dart, I'll just start doing it normal rotation.
I'm just happy to take that the wrong way.
Nah, no, I got thick skin there, man. No big deal. I just want to make everybody happy, and somebody has to wait at sometimes. And you stepped away from the mic though, but I did call for it. All right, Charles. That was Charles. KG4 Sierra Foxtrot, and he's in Cottontown. Decent signal. You get your antenna to stay up this time?
Yeah, but it looks like we're moving.
Well, all righty. Let's hope things get better then. Appreciate you being there, though. I will catch you later. Any other late check-ins? I'm not sure they can hear you. Hold on 1 second, Charles. Let me see who that is. K4PEW. Who was trying to check in? Was anybody trying to check into the net tonight? Any for late check-ins?
KD8RRO.
Oh, Kilo Bravo 8 Romeo Oscar Oscar. Do I have that correct?
Copy that. Yes, this is KD8RRO.
Okay, it was a Kilo Delta. I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly.
Copy that. Yeah, Kilo Delta. Yes, sir.
Ah, very good. I don't think I've talked to you before. What's the name and the location?
My name is Kirby, and I'm over here in Donaldson.
Ah, very good, Kirby. Have you not checked into the net before, have you?
No, sir. No, sir. Never checked into the net before. This is my very first time. Looking forward to checking in more often. Stuff like that. Get me a base station, or something like that, where I can actually get me a base antenna up, so I can actually check in and talk to you guys more often.
Yeah, very good. And what are you talking on right now? Because for being in Donaldson, your signal's a little low, but I'm fully reading you.
Yeah, I'm talking on a walkie-talkie.
Ah, that's why. You're working on 5 watts or something?
I'm not quite sure that it's even 5 watts. It's one of those old rail things, regular. But it is what it is. It's all I could get at the time, so I got it.
Well, very good. I look forward to having you on the net. And that was Kirby, and he's in Donaldson. That's Kilo Delta 8 Romeo Oscar Oscar. And is your email good on QRZ?
Yes, it should be. Yeah, it's the same one. Yeah, it is.
All right, I'll make sure you get on the mailing list so you can see what the plans are and what goes on here in our No Rules net. All right, Kirby, appreciate you being there. And again, Kilo Delta 8 Romeo Oscar Oscar on a handheld in Donaldson. Is there anybody else hitting number 29?
W0GZR.
All righty, I think that's another new call to me. Whiskey Zero Golf Zulu Romeo. Where a name and location, please.
Yeah, this is Mark in Nashville. Met you over at the Hempfest in Lebanon.
Ah, very good. Yeah, there was enough people there that I told somebody afterwards. I said I really should take people's pictures so I can remember who I met. When you meet dozens and dozens of people in one 4-hour period. Yeah, I do remember the call now that I think about it, but I'm not sure I'd be able to place. I'd recognize you, but I wouldn't necessarily place it with the call. But yeah, and see, what part of Nashville are you in?
Oh, by the way, I had gray hair. Does that help? I'm in southeast Nashville, off of Murfreesboro Pike.
Ah, okay, very good. Yeah, it was like the fella. I forgot who it was that told me now. He says, I'll see you at Huntsville. I'll be the one with the HT on my belt.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, very good. By the way, your call, I hear so few 0 calls. It just throws my brain for a loop, when I hear a call that's not a 4, or even the 8 call from Kirby who just checked in throws me for a curve because it's not, people now, it doesn't matter where you are with your number. And where was that call originally? Is that up in the Northeast? Is 0 Maine? Is that where that is?
Negative, Iowa. I moved here a couple of years ago chasing granddaughters.
Ah, okay. I didn't remember where 0 was. I guess it's 1 is really up in the Northeast, and because 2 is New York and New Jersey, I believe.
Yep, that's right.
All right, very good, Mark. Good to have you in there from Nashville, Southeast Nashville. That's Whiskey Zero Golf Zulu Romeo. Mark, good to have you in there, and love to hear from you again. I'll try to get you guys on the mailing list very shortly. Get moving here, and let's not forget we got a sideband net. We're already 17 minutes after the hour. Any others? Any record breakers that who move past 29? Please come now. Somebody come up with a fake call, and we'll call it 30. All right, we're moving on to sandbaggers, lollygaggers. Where was I? Sandbaggers, lollygaggers, lurkers, and scanner listeners.
84 CVE.
Okay, is that Kilo Delta 4 Charlie? What was the last two?
Charlie Victor Echo is copying me. I may be in a bad spot now.
Okay, that improved. Have you checked in before? Because I don't remember the C. I do remember the CVE, but I forgot your name.
My name's Greg, and I'm having some radio issues. May not be able to copy much more.
Yeah, it's just breaking up a little bit, Greg, but you're coming in fine. Where are you mobile? Are you?
Yeah, I'm mobile, and I'm a bad spot around Briley.
All right. Yeah, Briley can be. It's like being in a prison with walls, there, isn't it?
Yeah, comes and goes.
All right, very good. We had Greg in there mobile, and he broke the all-time check-in record with number 30. That's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo, and that's Greg. He's been in here before. Appreciate it, Greg, and I'm glad you could check in. Anybody else? Late check-ins, lurkers, sandbaggers, lollygaggers, and scanner listeners. Of course, scanner listeners have to check in via email or text.
That's what I was wondering, how does scanner listeners key up?
No, they can't key up. Well, if they do, they're in trouble. But no, they can email me though, or they can actually leave a message here on YouTube if they were watching. They could do it. But if you're just I'm sure there's scanner listeners out there hearing our silly antics here, or my silly antics, I should say. Very good. Do we have any other check-ins?
KJ4JEG.
Ah, you even broke the record further. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to have you in there. Did your husband put you up to this?
Dragged me out of the bed.
Oh man, hit me again. I know it's KK4 and it's Juliet. Is it Echo Tango?
KJ4JEG.
Boy, did I have that wrong. I'm going to get that KJ4. All right. See, that's what happens when you check in only intermittently. I don't get it impressed into my my 69-year-old brain very well. So it's Kilo Juliet 4 Juliet Echo Golf. Yeah, you're doing fine.
That's correct.
Boy, we're busting the records out tonight. It's good to have you in there, though. Any other check-ins tonight?
Quit asking, you wouldn't break it.
Say that again?
I said if you quit asking, you wouldn't break it.
I know it. That's all right. We're good. We're good. I did hear somebody else in there, I think, though. Please come down.
Yeah, this is KD8R.
Conditions really got changed. I couldn't hear hardly any words you said at all.
I said if somebody earlier made a comment about somebody climbing the tower, they want to hear that. Work a couple hours.
Yeah, I didn't hear all of that, but I'm presuming that you're looking for a tower. Is that what I heard?
No, I heard a guy comment about he needs somebody to climb this tower. So if he needs somebody to help him,
Oh, okay, very good. I'll pass that along to Eddie, and of course I'll pass it on. Very good. Let me make a little note here. Tower help. All right, will do. I appreciate you jumping in there, though. Any other late check-ins? Please come in.
Richard.
Why?
What's the fella's call and name from up in Scottsville, Kentucky? Believe it or not, I heard him a while ago, but I didn't catch all that.
Oh, you're lying, man. You can't hear it on that J pole. It's Alpha Charlie 9 India Mike.
Alpha Charlie 9, India Mike. What's his name?
It is Steve, and he's in Scottsville.
Thank you, sir. Carry on. KI4SIB.
Yeah, fine business. I'm glad you could hear him. See, conditions are kind of funny because he was up and down, and the Hartsville station was somewhat up and down due to noise, but you were able to hear him. That's great. Just goes to show you. Any other late check-ins? Any late confusion? Anything? Anytime? Well, we're already an hour and 20 minutes in here. Anybody else? Aha! You had to go further where no man has tread before. How you doing tonight, Tom?
Doing good. You're waving in and out tonight. I don't know what's going on. But just wanted to say hello to you and check me in and see that.
Yeah, very good. That's Tom. And November 2, November Uniform Tango. He's over in Franklin. Yeah, your signal is usually much better than that. So I'm saying we got some oddball conditions tonight because I had some other conditions in other locations. Although a lot of people sounded great, some sounded really bad that normally sounded, good. All right, Tom, good to have you in there. Anybody else? I'm afraid to ask anymore.
I'm in Franklin too, and you sound good down here about $5.
Well, that's because Tom lives in the ghetto of Franklin, from what I understand.
Oh, I'm not saying that I ain't. Okay, I just want to pass it on. Katie 14.
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Randy. All right, anybody else? Good, we'll close the net out. And anybody who wants to can go over to the 144.215 sideband for a little rag chew, just round table stuff. And I'm going to let, hopefully we can let Danny do that, kind of round table that net as a net control. That's Whiskey Echo for Echo. He's in Hendersonville, so we'll see if that works out pretty good. Everybody's going to be on vertical, I take it, unless they feel otherwise, but vertical is going to be the way to go tonight because that's where most of us are. 144.215, closing the net out with an astounding 32 check-ins. By the way, that was Loredana. I forgot to say that. That's Kilo Juliet 4, Juliet Echo Golf, and she's also in Watertown. Well, just outside of Watertown, but good signal, and I appreciate you having you in there, Loredana.
One little request.
How little?
Oh, now you was asking at the beginning of the nest is something we might try sometime. Say you're trying a 2-meter sideband net. How about a little rag Q one night or so every once in a while on 10 meters?
Yeah, we could do that because I know they used to have a 10-meter net here, but I could never find them because I think they quit when I rolled into town.
I think it still meets. I can't remember, but yeah, just a thought, food for thought.
Yeah, there's no reason we can't. Obviously, not everybody has sideband. You mean 10-meter sideband or 10-meter FM?
Well, I was thinking sideband, but I mean, if it has to be FM, I guess we can do that. It carries pretty good too.
Oh no, it doesn't have to be anything. I'm just the 10-meter sideband's fine, and the reason I like doing what you're suggesting is because that's what forces me and everybody else, usually, if they're interested, to go out and say, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that, And it doesn't take too much to put up a 10-meter vertical. I made a 10-meter vertical. So it's not a big deal to do that. But, it makes people think about what they're doing. But I'm closing the net and moving over, and I appreciate you saying that. We can try that another day, and we can talk about that maybe on Saturday night's net as well. Who else? And while I'm closing the net, moving over to that 144.215, and appreciate all the check-ins. We busted all the records with 32, so we're doing great. K4 PEW closing that. Appreciate it.
Great job as always, Katie 14.
All righty, thank you for those kind words. Just send money. No, I'm kidding. Very good. This isn't for money. Just send antennas. K4 PEW closing down the YouTube or the YouTube feed.